Hello, and welcome back to DROD RPG 2. I'm making a save at the start of the episode this time. I am actually doing this right after the previous episode, so I still remember what's going on. And I shut off that annoying alarm, which I did check. I was not showing up in the footage, but I can still hear it. Got that annoying phantom alarm thing in the back of my head. I hate it. After you shut off a recurring noise. Is it just me? Is that a thing? Anyway, so we are going to see if we can get away with not spending a green key for 2,000 health. This 3,487th bureaucrat fellow seems to think, I guess I could have checked to see what number the other one was. Presumably they're different. But yeah, he seems to think that we don't have enough health. And I assume if I grabbed that potion, he wouldn't say that. But I want to see...
First the cold mist, then the thin ice. Now this, I could really do with something warm.
Alright, well, we're probably getting hot tiles or maybe fire traps, because that could be a new thing, right? And probably not percent damage? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, both of them. Both right at once.
Ha 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 ha. This wasn't what I meant. Not like this.
Hey, watch where you're stepping. I almost got killed.
What are you doing? And why here?
Just securing the entrance to this facility. These fire traps are highly configurable, so it's taken some time.
Configurable? In what way?
Well, they can be connected to pressure plates and orbs to open and close them, just like we can with doors. The amount of blast is also adjustable. I've currently configured these ones to deal 1,000 damage, I think.
You think? Are you not sure?
Well, I'm not going to test it myself.
So how am I expected to get through here?
Looks like I just found myself a tester.
Alright. They are in fact 1,000 and 100. Okay, so that confirms no percent damage. These were custom edited, I think. Actually, I wonder if by default in RPG 2 they do flat damage now instead of percent.
Ah, perfect. Exactly correct. Thanks.
You're welcome. After that intense blast of heat, these hot tiles seem almost cold and refreshing.
We've recently been improving our hot tile technology. The damage output is a lot more consistent now. These hot tiles have been configured to deal exactly 100 points of damage.
100 points. That's a very realistic and specific way of putting that. I can apply that to my everyday life. I don't suppose there's a safe way around them.
Nope.
Okay. So, they give us a bunch of health here, more than 1,100, but then we're forced to take a bunch to come through here. Alright, and then...
Halt! This is a restricted area! Wait! You aren't an enemy combatant! You don't have a sword!
That's right, I'm actually an inspector.
Oh yeah? What are you inspecting?
Your sword. Would you hand it to me?
There are plenty of swords you can inspect further ahead. We've really turned up the production of them lately. Not sure what's going on.
You have swords up ahead. Excellent. Would you mind moving out of the way?
I am out of the way.
Yes, but your sword is not.
I thought you wanted a close inspection.
Alright, so this guy is worth 9 Greckles. Presumably we could come back and beat him for that later, but it is another guaranteed hit. So I guess this initial gauntlet is just for people who haven't played RPG before, and also I guess to show off the new fire traps, which are of course a DROD 5 element being ported over to DROD RPG 2. With a new function, I guess, because they would just kill B-throw outright. But we have to take that hit. So this is just demonstrating that you can take fixed damage. It's not just Evil Eyes, where you step in front, or Goblins, where you have your back turned. We now have all sorts of other fixed damage. And the sword is arguably the most interesting of these, because this one you can actually reduce by having more defense, because it is just his attack stat that calculates the damage here. but every time you run through his weapon, you're taking extra damage. Fortunately, we have no reason to ever go back there. So time to continue exploring. And again, okay, it looks like we found the easy mode. Yeah. I wonder. So if you're getting extra resources like this, if you play it on easy mode, you could probably do all of the crypts pretty easily. I don't know if there'd be much of a point to it, but maybe we'll see if I'm getting maybe sick of the behold is the wrong term, but like, because I'm planning on doing 2 playthroughs already. It might be kind of fun just to do an easy mode playthrough at the very end, just to compare how it feels. Like after we do all the hardcore optimizing to do the crypt run, just do the opposite and just mow through everything. Maybe that's how we'll get our power fantasy at the end. Could be fun. We'll see. Alright, so we have a detailed map again. We do have a lot of yellow keys and a decent trade for health here. Also, we can turn off those fire traps, it looks like. Yeah, which is why these are more interesting than the hot tiles. Yeah, it's kind of interesting actually how some of these elements are so different, because like hot tiles were one of my favorite elements that were introduced in DROD 3, but I really didn't like them in DROD RPG 1, the way that they're done. DROD RPG 2 with the fixed damage, they're still not all that interesting to be honest, but I guess they serve a purpose. Alright, and we've got the Grey Man, so we could start fighting you. We did grab absolutely every stat that we could on the previous levels, so that's just what you cost unless we find a single attack gem. We are on a ×3 multiplier now, by the way. Another detailed map. A lot of blue keys. 6 of them. Okay, that's an absurd number of blue keys. So on the one hand, this is good, because it just lets me see everything. On the other hand, I really don't want to look at every room all at once, because that will be overwhelming if I do not have access to everything. So I'm actually just going to run around and see what rooms I can get to normally, as though I didn't have that map. So in fact, yeah, let's just not take the map just yet. And this will let us know... what we sort of have available in terms of options. Okay, so yeah, like this for example, I don't think there's a faster way of doing that. So that's 300 health to save myself 1,000. So what we're looking at here is one key, or one set of keys for 300 and another set for 1,000. Okay. Nice and simple. We can just run through there. I guess I am going to be looking ahead a little bit because I want to see, because a single attack makes that guy cheaper. And then I feel like we really don't want to spend a green key there. However, right, we can go up here, turn off the hot fire traps. So we'd only be running across the fire traps once. There's defense there. There's attack here behind a Grey Man. Then we need 2 yellows. But the other Grey Man would be cheaper. Grey Man being cheaper only saves us 50. So actually, yeah, there's really no point in ever taking this, because I currently have all the benefits of having taken the map, but also the benefits of knowing which rooms I've physically been to. So that's interesting. Something to keep in mind, I guess, for other people playing in the future. Touch the detailed map and then immediately undo a move. Alright. Fire trap. Well, okay, there is a problem with this. I don't have enough health to do much of anything. Might as well keep exploring though. Hey, health. You turn that on, of course you do. 175. Well, might as well do that. And also, I can kill you. Yeah, it's a toggle. I can kill you and then put the mirror on in your place. I can never get the mirror back unless you come through. Also, there's mist here. You don't have a lot of defense, so that's just a disadvantage for me. And I have to fight the eye first. Unless I go all the way around. Oh boy. Okay, a lot of constructs there. We're looking at 90 Gruckles for the crypt. I was just kind of curious what the cost was going to be. Well, we're still exploring. It's just kind of how this is going to be at the beginning here. We can get another blue key. And that's it. It's just a gauntlet for blue keys. I don't really need to look at that until I need a blue key. But we did find stats. Let's think real hard about that. Right, so you would make... The advantage of going this way, we can make gray men and red guards cheaper. Very close to making soulless cheaper. That is a lot of damage. Ooh. Okay, we need a blue key. We can also take only that amount of damage twice. So 354 for 30 Gruckles. So yeah, on the previous level I could do a green key for 2,000. Green key for 3,000, I mean, it's something. Green keys maybe are less valuable than I thought. I'm starting to really think, given that that's a trade, I probably just want to do the green key for 2,000 on the previous level. Having a hard time imagining not wanting to do that. But we are just exploring. Okay, you were cheaper. Said we're just exploring, but grab that yellow key potentially whenever. This lets us get back here. Which lets us get down there, which doesn't actually do anything for us. Okay, so that answers that question. We do want to go this way first. And from here... Yeah, we're not going anywhere until we get down there. Is this our first trapdoor? I didn't comment on this earlier, but one of the advantages of small weapon, I'm assuming this is going to be the same as regular DROD, is that we aren't going to drop the trapdoor. So we actually are going to need a better weapon at some point. Spear weapon. Alright, well, since we're still exploring, if we're doing that trade, then we're almost... Yeah, we're just gonna grab... I'll go back and grab the other option. Alright, I take damage, so let's do that. By doing it this way... Now what? What are my options here?
You haven't seen the last of me!
Right, so I don't have a sword. So he actually gets an extra hit on me. Alright, well... I guess we'll do that for now. So despite all the blue keys, it appears to be fairly linear. Okay, and there's a sword here. It's also a lot of shields.
At last, a weapon worthy of a stalwart. Now I can overcome all weakness that stands in my way, like these walls. They look like an overcomable amount of weakness.
Okay, yeah, have to tell us about rotating. You rotate with the mouse wheel, interesting. So if I compare these two, minus 20. So the only benefit of the dagger over the short sword, which I think was our starting weapon in RPG 1, the only advantage would be that it's a small weapon, because this is still metal. And yeah, we now drop trapdoors, which means that we are never getting that dagger back.
I can strike orbs with my sword to activate them. Like pressure plates, they open and close doors and other objects. I thought I might need a refresher.
Yeah, so I guess he probably says that if you move next to it, but don't stab it right away. I guess I can check that.
I can strike orbs with my sword to activate them.
Okay, so anywhere in this section.
By moving my sword into a foe, I can strike first in combat. I can still bump into foes with my body, but I will strike last, so I should try to avoid that. Yes, these are the fundamentals of battle.
Alright, and now we finally get to feel like DROD. Yeah, so 2 hits from behind instead of just 1. I think the most unique thing about DROD is the fact that you have the sword occupying a tile adjacent to B-throw. And that makes such a huge difference in how the game plays. So much that the sword is used for. It's actually one of the most important elements in the game, unsurprisingly for a game where you're stabbing things with a really big sword. So yeah, RPG with a sword feels completely different than RPG disarmed.
I can push mirrors with my sword. If I swing my sword next to this one, I should be able to dislodge it. These subtleties are what make a stalwart more than just a brute.
Yeah. Quite useful.
These mirrors have a weak spot. They can't survive a direct strike. If I walk into it with my sword pointing forward, I should be able to deliver a shattering blow.
So yeah, putting your sword into it isn't enough. But if you're facing it and you point directly into it, then you do a stab. Which is actually a unique thing about the sword, thinking about it. Because I know, like, that is one thing. So a push move on a diagonal is one thing a sword can do that a spear cannot. I don't know why I'm thinking of that just right now. Well, I do know why. It's because I'm stabbing a mirror. But it's just a thought I had a while ago, and it's been a while since I played regular DROD. Alright.
Not sure if you noticed before, but these goblins are sneaky. They will take a swipe at you if you stand next to them, but face away from them. With a sword, you get more control over the direction you're facing, so you should be able to avoid getting hit.
An expert swordsman like me should be able to avoid taking any damage in this room.
Don't kill any of the goblins, please. They're holding the doors open for me.
Right, so if I, click on the doors or the pressure plates. So if I want this key, I need to do some tricky stuff. That, Not too bad. So it's a big level, but yeah, because we don't face the way that we're turning anymore. It's a big level, but it's a fairly linear level, it looks like, and I do still need to reload after all this, so I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about things. Extended mirror tutorial. Okay, I mean, pushing is weird, to be fair. This is an optional room to learn more about pushing mirrors with your sword. You should be able to avoid taking any damage or striking an orb. So striking any of the orbs locks me in? Yeah. When you step in a direction, your sword will also push mirrors in that direction. They sure do. When you rotate your sword into a mirror, it is pushed at right angles to the direction your sword ends at. So this room is very clearly a demonstration of a demonstration for people that don't play DROD, and also I guess who haven't played DROD RPG 1, which is an interesting thought. The sequel, especially in a puzzle game, like these games are similar enough that I don't know if I would recommend DROD RPG 2 to anybody as their first DROD RPG game, because, well, I guess it only really matters if you want the official level, right? If you want to play Tendry's Tale. If you don't care about the official storyline and you just want to play the puzzles, you could just skip Tendry's Tale, and then DROD RPG 2 should let you play all of the custom levels of DROD RPG 1, so maybe it doesn't actually matter. I am now an expert at pushing
Unlike the
mirrors
version
around.
of me in the mirrors, nobody pushes me around. If only somebody were around to hear my witty repartee.
Alright. 3 blue keys, not really much of a choice.
Dropping all the trapdoors in a room will toggle every trapdoor gate.
And we had to come here with our sword. We could not get through here with the dagger.
Sorry, staff only beyond this point.
But if I had a staff, I wouldn't be able to get through. See, Tendry, you're not the only one who can do it. Okay, so let's see here. Take some more damage. This is interesting. So I take 200 and stab you from behind, which gives me 612. Or I mean, that's just better. Okay, stuff. So this level actually doesn't look all that bad, all things considered.
Oh, my head. This feeling can only mean one thing. A brain.
Yes, those do tend to be the cause of migraines.
No. Not mine. I had that before. Brains. The monster.
They seem fairly weak and harmless to me.
That's because they're on your side. It's much harder to fight while a brain is in the room. They send information to their friends, such as my weak spots.
By the way, did you know there's a hole in your armor by your waist?
See, they're doing it. Right now.
Investigating imperfections in metal is also my job.
Okay, so we have a brain, which doubles the attack of every enemy in the room, including the brain, which means that if you have a group of like 6 brains in a room, each one doubles, like it's exponential. Not linear doubling, exponential doubling. So brains are actually quite dangerous if you have multiples in a room. Even with just one in the room, it's still pretty bad. Also, yeah, I'm just used to the DROD RPG default stats. This brain does a lot of damage by default. I'm guessing that's 70 doubled, but that's still a lot more than what they did in RPG 1. Alright, well, I mean, going for the brain first makes a certain amount of sense. Week 3 forging schedule, Ormite shields done. Can I have one of those, please? That would be quite the upgrade. Blue keys, really big swords, pickaxes. Maybe we can skip the pickaxe, but actually pickaxes are pretty good in DROD RPG too.
Seems I came at just the wrong time. Oh well, I could still use one of these.
Alright, so I need a bunch of health to get through there. Or I can fight for it and then still take a bunch of damage on hot tiles. But yeah, I can save 3,000 health this way, I can save 1,000 health that way. So I have a hard time believing that we wouldn't be spending a key here. Because even though we're going to be taking 600... 1,300, roughly. To save 5,000 actually, because they'll be going across this twice. Yeah, that's a very, very valuable yellow key. Okay. Not sure if that was worth it, but it's what I decided to do. Here's another brain. We get to pay a yellow key to make things cheaper. I'm just exploring, so let's keep going. And this is why we don't look at the map ahead, why we only do what we can physically get to, because this has revealed to me that this is actually a completely linear level. So I feel like it's going to be pretty easy when I actually do the real run. Okay, a bunch of resources, another guard. A brain that does weird things. I guess this is saying, do you want to go this way and get the back attack on these two? Or do you want to go this way, kill the brain? Or do you want to pay for the mirror and then get the best of both worlds? Was there another way in there? No. There are those tunnels, though. Which does let me get back out up here. Interesting. Still have to fight, though. Okay, open that. A lot of resources if we want to pay for it. And we're back. Okay, so we've opened this up. We need a green key. That's just to get to the boss, which... Okay, Rattlesnake's a bit scary. $20 Greckles per segment, though, and 30 attack. Then we got a room up here, which is... just a bunch of stuff, including a green key that would let me get down there. So where's the last blue key? It is... over here. Right. Okay. Well... I mean, these are the same save. Alright, I have just wasted 29 minutes of your life. Not exactly. So... we did the scouting run, which is going to make that a lot easier. We decided that we really do want to get the health.
Is this the way to the heart of the Empire?
Let's see here. It looks like you're currently on track. Good job.
So only 79%. I'm still below, I think it was 80 something on the previous floor, so I'm still doing worse.
Ah, perfect. Exact.
Halt! This is a restrict.
Alright, so we're going to go through this part pretty quickly. Don't need this... well... I don't know, I'll probably grab it at the end because it'll annoy me that there's an item I didn't grab, but I don't feel the need to grab it yet. Don't need the keys immediately, I don't think. Does a green key help? I mean... oh, I was gonna say this isn't gonna get cheaper, but if I have a sword, I can extract this without taking 300 damage. So actually, yes, we are gonna ignore it. Okay, so that's a yellow and a yellow. And a yellow. You have to have 3 yellow keys to get down here. And no % damage is really nice, so I'm just going to grab every potion as soon as I can now. Alright, so this is where I actually want to start thinking about stats. Well, we are going through this way. So we have an evil eye. Was there any defense that I left behind? There was. You're cheaper if I get the attack. So do I just fight you for the attack right away? I think grabbing the defense as early as possible makes sense. 3 defense will help. Yeah, so we still take 1 hit because we do not have a sword yet. Alright, so we can go up here. Grab the defense. Attack makes Soulless cheaper. Attack doesn't help with the golem, but the second attack does. Do I need a blue key to get through? I do. Okay, so I need that blue key. Yeah, so all of these blue doors really just make this a section of really small puzzle challenges, so I need that blue key. Attack makes the Soulless cheaper. 12 attack even, which would make everything except for the goblin cheaper. Well, that tells me I have to do that. Whereas here, I mean, I do want all of the stats eventually, so I'm probably going to just do that. There's 2 yellow keys here, so I'm assuming that yellow keys aren't going to be in excessively short supply. So the question then is, do I want that 9 attack before I try to do anything else? Problem is, like, getting a sword... how far off is that sword? The sword was basically free once I get through this door. Yeah, it is free. And having a sword is going to save me a hit on every single enemy, which is equivalent to getting an attack threshold on every single enemy. Plus, I think it was plus 30, right? So it's also a 20 attack gem. So this is going to get way cheaper if I just leave it for later. So we want... Now the question is, do we save yellow keys? And if I had an extra yellow key, I don't like spending the Greckles is the thing. So like I could make you cheaper. This is trading a yellow key for roughly, what, 1800? 1750? Something like that. I think that's worth it. Alright, so I could make you cheaper, but again, the sword is just going to make life so much easier. That I'm going to go for that before I even consider doing anything else.
I can strike orbs with my sword to activate.
Okay, so there's a blue key there.
I can push mirrors with my sword.
These mirrors.
Not sure.
Alright. This is a little bit weird to get used to, but once you're used to it, goblin shenanigans are really not that bad. Alright, I guess we'll do this, even though I don't think there's any point. But the thing to do.
Unlike the version of me in the mirrors.
Alright. And that leaves us with this. You guys are not getting cheaper, even with more attack. Neither are you. You guys... So a thing I hadn't considered is I might have been able to use this mirror to block this. I haven't saved it all, have I, since I started this run? That would save me about 400 health. No. I couldn't, because I have to do 2 fights to even get through here. So, no. Even with the mirror, I cannot. Although, hold on. Aha! So that's a new mechanic. Fire traps can burn away the mist. Okay. So that just means I fight the Soulless before I fight the Grey Man. So when I want that key, I just do that. As for this, Soulless does get cheaper if I get more attack. So not really any reason to go that way unless I really need the key immediately. Probably not getting cheaper. I don't recall. Were there any defense gems? Yes. Okay. So that just means that we push forward instead of backwards. And we do need to do that if we want to get through there again, because we're not taking another 1,000. So just keep in mind that there are attack options available.
By moving my sword into a foe, I can...
Defense is more important.
Dropping all the trapdoors in a room will toggle every trap.
Yes, okay. So you guys could be made cheaper if I had that attack. That is an option. The defense, you're guarding the defense though.
Oh.
Attack, it would make the brain cheaper. This was just a key, right? And health. There is defense behind this, though. Quite a bit of defense. Lots of stats. The brain's the only thing that gets cheaper, though, with the attack I currently have available to me. So that tells me that I'm probably better off continuing forward because I can get defense and attack to make Soulless cheaper. Which, Soulless was higher attack than a brain anyway. Yeah, so... yeah, so if I do this, I take 2 hits from a brain. And brain dies. Yeah, I do need more health. That's fine. We're trying to get Soulless cheaper. So probably just grab that. So the cheapest way to do this is going to be to do that, because then I don't have to take the double hits from those. Yep, and just one hit from you, you're not going to cheaper anytime soon, so it kind of makes sense. I could spend a yellow key here to avoid fighting this red guard. But the Greckles are nice. Alright, so am I ever gonna fight that brain? I guess I'm giving up a lot of Greckles, because if I'm killing all these monsters for their Greckles, I'm probably going to just spend the key. So then the question is, do I grab a yellow key? Just save here. I feel like I probably want to do that, because there's a lot of things to spend Greckles on, so I want the Greckles. So I'll spend the Greckles on a key so that I can spend the key to get the Greckles. That makes sense. It just makes sense to do this right away. Yeah, you can see how much cheaper everything got. There's defense in there, but I probably don't want to go in there until I'm fighting those guards. Okay, here's our Greckle room. Alright, and with that, Soulless should be cheaper. Probably makes sense to do that next for the keys and the attack. How much attack is available? I think there is 15 attack still available on the level, right? So we got 9 up there. 12. I'm not counting that. 15. Oh, and there's you. Hold on. Right, I wanted... Everything that I just did was to get enough attack to make Soulless cheaper, so that I can do this and save 83 on each of these hits. So that is probably worth it at this point. Which means... because I don't think we're getting you any cheaper anytime soon. 9 defense is a big deal. And let's just deal with our key problem. I don't think there's anywhere else I really needed the Greckles for immediately. So green key gets me a lot of good stuff. Yeah, and you guys aren't getting cheaper anytime soon. Alright, so now we want defense first. I guess we want health. Health and defense is the priority at this point. So we will spend a key here. I could do that, which gives me 584. But I can save a little bit by doing it that way. Seems like a good deal. Still more defense available. Right, so if we go in here, what does this look like? If I do that, then I get you. I have a hard time imagining anything's going to be cheaper than that. The alternative is to take 1,000 from the fire trap, which I can't afford, or spend the Greckles to move this down here, which gets me the defense, and then grab the defense, so that just saves me dealing with you. Yeah, I think there's pretty much no way that this isn't the best play at this point. It does mean I'm taking the soulless fight though, unless I want to spend money to unlock the shortcut. But getting defense as early as possible seems like it's worth doing. And I will save the Greckles because I'm a little bit low on those. Yeah, it's about 1,800 health right there, which is looking pretty good. And I think I have all the defense now, right? Still got +9 attack, which hasn't made a difference for a while, so I think I'm okay leaving that. 12 attack. But it's 12 is a gray guard, 15 is for the red guard, so I probably want to do all the other attack before I jump in there, and then I grab that attack and defense, and then fight the red guards. And I'll probably do that before going through you. And yeah, I think that's reasonable. Okay. So at this stage, we are grabbing all of the attack. Okay, that's just health. So if we're just grabbing all of the attack, I do not have enough to get through here. I need more health. $750. Is there a better health trade somewhere? $750. I think that's what I got available. Okay, I'll just grab one of these. Okay. For this one, we do need the green key first, but there are green keys available. Like there's this one, but I have to go through a guard for it. There's this one. Gray Man could be made cheaper. I wonder. He will not be cheaper. Okay. Might as well just get this one then. Alright, so you guys do get cheaper if I get more attack, but you don't hit nearly as hard as big scary red guards. So we will do this. Do that. So that's 450. Well. Clearly that's a better option. And you guys are still 2 hits each. But I do want the Gruckles. So I will fight you. Alright. So at this point I have every stat gem, I'm pretty sure. Do you get cheaper anytime soon? Well, no. So the only stat gem left on the level before the boss is going to be through you. So I might as well just fight you. It's going to be that. So my choices are, I can take 1,410 damage to get around the guard. I can also just spend the yellow key, which is almost certainly worth it. Considering how much I'm going to save, and I do want that attack. Alright, this is going to be a little bit tricky. But if I do this... kill you... get myself the attack. Alright, so this one now. I saved myself about 600 on that Soulless. Just on the Soulless. Right, because if I do this, 639. Yeah, okay. 500 something. But also stuff on other enemies, so that's almost certainly going to be worth it. I mean, we're probably just fighting all of this, but... yeah, okay. Hold on. Before I just go on a rampage. Once I get through you, I do get 30 more attack. So, if 30 attack would make a difference, which it does on everything other than the brain. Like, I want to kill as few enemies as possible still. On the way out. So we'll open the path out. I do need another green key though. There's this one which I can get. I think it just costs me this. And a golem. It's fine. Alright, free keys. Mostly free keys. And at this point, there's no reason not to grab that. I am curious. I'm going to check something. Map does show up as a an item on the map. Like, it shows up as treasure. So there is also 750 health there behind a yellow key, which realistically we're going to do. Score positive. I think I have quite a few keys lying around. Alright, I do need that blue key. So I wonder if I can fight this rattlesnake multiple times if I attack the tail first. I think that's a thing. Unless it was scripted to not be a thing, but it is set up very deliberately to let me do it. Right, so this is 5,000 damage if I just run in. Or we can take less than 5,000 damage. You guys... Okay, red guards are not getting cheaper even with plus 30. I think that means in this room I should have killed the guard instead of... Well, I get a cheaper gray mat. No. Okay, I might have made some mistakes there. So I could have saved myself 65 damage on the Solus. Alright, so I'm going to take 2,000 damage grabbing that blue key. Or not 2,000 damage.
Ooh, the key is hot, hot, hot!
And then 750 for health. I think we decided was a trade we were just gonna make. There are lots of keys lying around still. Let's just do it.
Giant snakes can be fought from the head or the tail. The head is their weak spot, and it will kill them outright. Fighting them from the tail will cause them to shrink.
Okay, so 810. So I can do that, and that just gets rid of it. But I can also do that, which lets me get past and make it cheaper. And I don't have to kill this snake. I can't actually just leave it there. So it really depends on how much money I want. But I do need 90 Greckles to get through here eventually. So regardless, I think that's the right thing to do. And then it's just a matter of whether I want to keep fighting it. But now I clean up. Clean up everything. Well, not starting with that room because I don't have a key. But, okay, 450 for 30. It's an option. Okay, you are not getting any cheaper. Okay, that explains that shape. But I'd say that was well worth damage. Not really any reason to do that because I already cleared this, but that's fine. Alright, down here there was some stuff. $180 for 2 yellow keys. 1,800 even. Alright, now I've got the yellow key. I'm not saving... Okay. I'm saving for 240, 2 hits. Yeah, we're not... Brain is worth 3 Greckles, but we're not spending a yellow key for a tiny amount of health and 3 Greckles. So we'll just grab that. Could fight these guys for the money. If I'm fighting anybody for the money, though, it should probably be you. I feel like that's going to be the best. Let's see, 300 for 10, 630 for 20. I mean, the red guards are actually a better deal. So then it's just a matter of how much money I want. It's also 30 for 450. So if I'm fighting this multiple times, then this trade is not worth it. Could grab 3,000 from that. Could grab 1,800. Which is... not bad. Hard to say, because my stats actually look pretty good right now. Oh, you're plus 8. Are different guards worth different amounts of money? Oh no. Why is that a thing? Well, we'll kill them both, because I have a lot of health. I mean, actually, to be fair, I don't know if I have a lot of health, because it's really going to depend on the next level. No point going to that red room up there, because those are goblins I can't kill. Kill you guys for the money. Okay, if I want more health, I mean, these trades make the most sense. So, I guess we say... more health and Greckles. Let's save here, we have the option. Oh. Forge crypt. Not really sure why someone installed a crypt near the forge. 47th architect has some explaining to do. 14th metallurgist. Oh, maybe a lot of forge accidents happen.
Watch out! That poor man is trapped in the fire!
Oh, don't worry. It's just a construct.
A construct?
Yeah, made of metal and only capable of following programming. Just forging the chassis of this one.
Why are you making these? Why now?
Their construction is being jointly funded by the archivists and the patrons. I can see why the archivists like them. No chance of deviating from their script. Complete order. Not sure why the patrons are involved.
The patrons, you say? I recall that archivist fellow told me the patrons were kidnapping my people. Do you know where I can find them?
Well, I do know a group of other engineers are helping out with some construction south of here, past the warehouses.
Thank you. Time to pay these patrons a visit.
No monster info. Okay, so we don't get to see what the stats are on a construct. They are fireproof. Interesting. Given that they're weak to fire and regular DROD. Alright, what do you have to say about my stats?
Ready to move on? You could say you are forging ahead with your quest.
Please, stop.
You're leaving because you can't stand the heat.
What did I just say?
Bump into me if you'd like to hear my assessment.
Alright, how hot am I doing for this section? Is that the same number?
Let's see here. It looks like you're currently on track. Good job.
Interesting. Also, the achievement pop-up said that I'm still in Chapter 1, which means that this is going to be a pretty long game. So a ton of resources here. We can trade keys for health. We can trade health for Greckles, which means that we can trade keys for Greckles. But we seem to have a decent amount of health, Greckles, and keys. So I'm really not sure what we need going forward, but I think we're in a pretty good spot. So I guess we do an exploration run at the start of the next episode, and then come back here and decide whether we're switching our resources around once we know what we're up against. I will see you then.